Welcome back to the channel. I am Simon. This is Simon Says Garage. This behind me is our 1941 Chevy Special Deluxe that I am building for the High Class Trash Ratrod Build-Off Invitational. Yeah, I got an invite along with some other builders like Hardcore Fab, Austin Automotive, Merrick Makes, and a slew of other people that I'm probably forgetting, which I tend to do a lot. Nonetheless, it's time for a chassis. This is probably going to be a multi-part series that it's probably going to jump in between other videos because it's just a time-consuming deal and I want to do multiple things while we're doing the chassis. But we've already started prepping the car. Got the firewall cut out. The dash is out. You might be asking yourself, Simon, why'd you take the dash out? It looks like it's good. It's not. It's like the rest of the car, complete garbage, completely rusted out, and which is a shame because I really like these dashes. Oh, hello, Roku. I guess that's turning on. Like I said, it was a damn shame because I actually like these dashes. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Am I going to try and refurbish it, build something new, put something else in the car? I just don't frickin' know. I don't know. But step one for me for figuring out what we're going to do for a chassis. Have I built a chassis before? You might be asking yourself. Yes, one time. My 1928 Model A. And it worked okay as far as I know. I don't know of any problems. It hasn't broken half, so I figure I should be able to do it again. Hopefully. It's going to be, I don't want to say basic, but you know, it's not going to be super complicated and all that jazz. Well, that was a big word that I screwed up. Super complicated by any stretch of the imagination. We're not doing some all-wheel drive, independent suspension all the way around the thing type build. Not that I don't want to try that one day. This is just not the day I'm going to try it. So, I know I rambled there quite a little, so let's start with just setting the wheels up. Yes, I've got wheels. Some of you have been waiting to see those because I've had them for a little while now. I've even got my motor. Nope, let me take that back. Rephrase. Pretend I didn't say that. It's not necessarily the motor that's going to go in this car, though it might. I don't know. I picked up a small block Chevy 350 when I was building the stroke box, and I still have it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's underneath the bench over there. We'll dig that out. We'll set that up. We'll set the wheels up. We'll kind of get a wheelbase of what we want and a measurement of how much steel we're going to have to get ordered. And we'll just go from there, basically. I don't know where this video is going to end, but like I said, it's going to be multiple parts. This is just part one. Let's start figuring out what we're going to need. The axle's been sitting here since I brought the car home. We got to get that stripped down. We'll probably do that in this video. Get it stripped down, get the calipers off of it because they are locked up, and make sure everything rotates freely. And hopefully there's no surprises in there like a broken axle or something. I don't know. I think it's good. But, you know, the excursion did roll over. That's how I got it for the motor for the last build. All right, Simon, stop rambling. Let's see if we can at least get the motor dug out. We're going to put the body on the ground, and then we're going to set some wheels up and start taking some measurements. And getting things done in my garage is kind of like an old puzzle game, where you got to slide this piece over here to get this piece to slide down, to get that piece to slide over. You know, kind of like the old school phone park games where you had to move the cars around to get cars in and out of the parking lot. Kind of the same premise. We got to move that to move this and move this to move that. It's a little annoying, but it's kind of my own fault. For the record, I paid $300 for this motor like 2 years ago, like I said, when I bought it for the stroke box, and then completely detoured on that project. And it's just been sitting here ever since. I was told it runs. Don't know if it actually does. You know, marketplace, how that goes. I don't even know if I've pulled the dipstick, and if I have pulled the dipstick, I don't remember what it looked like. Kid was doing an LS swap or switching to a big block. I don't remember what he was doing. All right, this is not wheeling the way I want it to go. There she is. She's been covered this whole time. Oh, it's even got a carburetor on it. Oh, there's my engine lifting chain I was looking for. At least I didn't lose it. Now that that's out from behind the car, we can probably try and get this car on the ground. I was so indecisive when I was cutting the firewall out. This is my first cut. I was cutting along there and I'm like, whoa, Simon, if you make that cut and you decide you don't want to take any more, now you got to make sure you get it perfectly straight and square, otherwise you're going to have an issue when you try and put a firewall back in here. So then I started cutting down here and I was like, whoa, Simon, you're basically cutting through 2 layers because it's kind of folded over the one piece in here. So I got about the same distance and realized that's not the right idea either. So then we dropped it down for our 3rd cut and cut around the lip. So we were only cutting 1 layer. But we got it out of there. Like I said, I'm pretty good about having ideas and then realizing they're bad after I've already started and changing course. But the job got completed. I don't know what the firewall plan is yet. I just wanted to make sure I had room that I could get the motor in there and tucked around and moved around the way I need it to. If I need it to. I'm hopeful I can get this thing on the ground without getting the cherry picker out and the hoist out and, you know, the whole works. Because that's just more stuff to do and I don't want to do it. Not that I can't do it, I'm just lazy and don't want to do it. Big difference. Big, big difference. But I mean, it should be a lot lighter than it was when I took it off the frame. Okay, well that's interesting. Is it balanced? Does that mean it's balanced? No, probably not. Do I need help with this? Is this something Simon should get help for? I really don't wanna if I don't have to. The wife's been busy today, so I don't want to bother her. Whoa! Whoa, Nelly. With no floor or firewall or doors in the way, we can get a jack in here relatively easy now. Oh yeah, we got this. Didn't need no stinking help. I'll take help, but we don't need it. There she is on the ground. So cool. I've been waiting for this day. Completely on the ground. Perfect. All right. Let's get the motor where we think she should be, roughly. Yep. Okay. That motor almost looks too small. Too high? Not sure. It doesn't really matter at this point. We're just figuring things out. Tires. Tires, people. Wheels. Not tires, wheels. Well, they got tires on them too. I just got to rearrange some more things. So let's talk about wheels. What is Simon planning on running for wheels? Some of y'all are gonna love this, honestly. Some of y'all are probably gonna hate it and might not ever come back and see the rest of the car build. Either way, I'm fine with it. That's your feels, not mine. My car, my want. These are 35 by 1250s on 20-inch rims, Mickey Thompson's, and I think they're Rockstar wheels. Yeah, they're monsters. Overkill? Maybe, maybe. We gotta figure out where our wheel base is gonna be, but that's the start of it. We definitely need to get one for the front too. And yes, as of today, whatever the date is at whatever time it is, the plan is to run all 4 same wheels and tires. I have a backup plan if I don't like it with different wheels for the front, but as of today, this is the thought. Oh yeah. I don't know if this is even gonna be very good perspective on camera because I cannot get far enough back. Oh yeah, I like it. Let's put that door in there because that's very distracting. So, okay, I can admit that I have an appreciation for my work sometimes. I put the door on and then I've been sitting here for about the last 45 minutes just kind of staring at it and visioning and thinking about how I want to do certain things and just admiring something I drew months ago is starting to take shape. I haven't shown anybody that picture. That's not true. I haven't shown many people the picture of my concept, which I drew with a pencil. I'm not a good artist, so that's why I didn't bring it up for anybody. Maybe I'll put it in this video if you guys are interested in seeing it. But yeah, wow, it's exactly what I wanted. I'm not gonna lie. We're not sure on the for sure placement of the front wheel here yet. Obviously there's no axles in anywhere. I'm pretty content with the rear wheel placement. Actually, like to the point where I think that's where it should live, or maybe back about 2 inches. I'm not sure. I'm pretty happy with it. I didn't want it way back there. Sometimes you see builds and they're way back on the rear end of the car. Cool, I get it. Sometimes you got to do that for room, for seats and everything else. I'm definitely not building a family cruiser, so as far as that goes, it's not a concern for me. So like I said, I'm not sure if I should move it back an inch or two or just let her ride where she's at. I'm pretty happy with that placement, honestly. The front might go forward just a smidge. I kind of want the axle right in front of the radiator shroud. So that might need to go forward a little bit, or the motor can actually come back some more too. So ballparking things at this point, not locking anything in. A guy should sit in there now that it's on the ground, huh? A couple guys are wondering how I'm even gonna fit in this thing. I am also wondering how I'm gonna fit in this thing. But I saw that green pickup at Starbird a couple weeks back. That thing was low. I should have got in that thing. But every time I went over to talk to the guy, he wasn't around. At least I didn't see him. This is not that low. That was really low. This is not. Let's see if I can get in it. What do we sit on? What do we sit on? What do we sit on? So I threw a couple blocks in there. They're both just under 6 inches thick. So my frame's gonna be 2x3, so it'll be 3 inches tall. I plan on having 1x1, what do you call it, flooring material. And then the sheet metal on top of that. So I should be at about 4 inches from the ground, give or take, when I've got the floor in here. When the car is completely aired out. Not a lot of room. So, if I go with this, somehow I messed my jack up. Oh well. Ow, that was loud. So that's just under 6 inches. I got a pad that's probably 1.5 inches or 2 inches thick. So, you know, I'm a good few inches off the ground. I got another one to put my feet on just for figuring it out what I thought. Let's climb in here once. I can't see. This is embarrassing. I cannot see, but I've still got these crossbars in here, so they're in the way. I'd like to be a little further back, and I think that would help. Am I worried about this? Not yet. Not yet. I mean, I can see straight. I just got nothing up. Nothing. Let me see if I can bring the camera in here and show you what I'm looking at. Everybody wants to be the tall guy until you build a really low car. So that's a good representation of what I can see. But again, I'm sitting pretty much straight up and down because my supports are still in here. So we'll have to take some of that into account. Definitely. Because I think if I was further back, I would have a little more room. I apologize for the light situation in here. I didn't think to bring a light with me, so just bear with me here. I'm gonna see if I can't climb over this and sit behind it and see how I feel. See if that feels any better for me. I was gonna do it off camera, and then I thought, well, when I fall and smash my face in the ground, you might wanna see that. So I turned the camera back on. Ow, yep, ow, okay. It's like a monkey. Jungle jump, that's the word, jungle jump. Well, now we're way too far back. Way too far back. I need to be like right where the crossbars are. So this is all good information to know, because that's going to determine how we design our frame. All very good information. Still not worried yet, people. I'm still not worried yet. No, it is roomy in here. I suppose I should get in here and finish welding this one of these days. That day is not today. It's not real fun trying to get out of here. Yep. Okay. Up. Oh, nope. Keys are stuck. Oop. Ow. That's not so bad, Simon. What are you worried about? Yeah. All right. Enough screwing around. Let's get to figuring out some measurements and how much steel we're going to need and go from there. Okay, good idea. All right, so these are very crude measurements. Basically, I'm just looking for what I'm going to need to get for steel. But now it starts the design phase. Like, I got to figure out how I want this all to work out. Yeah, it's not to scale, so don't be judging. Time to hit the chalkboard or the whiteboard or the drawing board. Something. I got to start doodling some stuff to see how we want this all to work out and how we want this to look and how we want this to be and stuff. We'll see what I come up with. I'll keep you posted. I probably should get going on that axle too. I got to get that stripped down. Oh, there's so many things to do. So many things to do. So many things that have to happen for the next thing to happen. Yeah.
A few moments later.
I gotta admit, I am truly blessed to have some really great friends. Jeremy, my buddy who lives up north. Honestly, if you've bought anything at the Ratrod booth or Ratstock over the last couple of years, anywhere in Minnesota damn near, specifically like back to the 50s and whatnots. Also at Starboard this year, you probably met Jeremy. Good guy. You want people like that in your corner. Trust me. Trust me. Anyways, I reached out to Jeremy about an axle he had. I knew he had it and I knew he wasn't using it. He was going a different route with his build. I was like, hey, what are you doing with that axle? He said, nothing. It's yours if you want it. How freaking cool is that? How freaking cool is that? So now we can make the best of what we got and make it all work. Hopefully, that's the plan. Is this thing gonna bolt in directly and just be ready to rock and roll? Of course not. Absolutely, of course not. No way, no how. I know this, and if you've been following the channel, you know that doesn't bother me. We'll just make it happen, Captain. It'll either be good or good enough. Either way, it'll be good. So, I don't know what this axle is out of. I think it's like an early 40s truck, maybe. But I don't know for sure. Just to guess. Don't come at me. I don't know for sure. Either way, it's an axle. It's a complete axle. Okay, well, it's almost complete. It looks like it might be missing the stop and the wedge thing. Whatever, we can make that work. What we got to do is figure out where it's going to go. And to do that, we should take the center measurement of the wheels. That'll give us our height for the center of the axle, and then we'll figure out the left to right and the front to back, you know, all those calculations and arithmetic too. So I'm gonna start some measuring and we'll get her placed where we think we need to have it placed. Blessed be thou. All right, folks, we're gonna split the wishbone here. Not like it's Thanksgiving dinner and you take the old wishbone and you split it with your brother and try and make a wish and hope yours comes true and get the bigger piece. No, we're gonna actually make this one pretty well even. If you've never done this before, if you've never seen this done before, if you've never understood what it meant to split a wishbone, I only know this because I did it on my Model A, which is parked outside. This big triangle piece, it's actually a V without the axle attached, is called the wishbone. When we split this, we're basically gonna cut the connector piece off. This is just welded on right here and right here. It's a ball and socket type suspension. This would go in the truck or car, whatever it was in. There'd be a socket that this would go in, and this would help with aligning your axle and keeping it from pitching left and right and up and down or twisting. That's the word I'm looking for, because your spring would be mounted in the front of this axle setup. Whew. I just noticed that this is like kind of like an orange hue paint job and red and all kinds of weird goofy colors on it. Kind of dig it. Matches the car even just a little bit. Sidetrack. Whoa. Anyways, the wishbone, we're splitting it. So we're going to cut the connector off here. I'm not taking any crazy serious measurements. When I go to put a Heim joint on here, because that's what I'll have to replace this with, we'll get everything measured up and trued up and squared up as best as I can. And then we'll make sure they're the same length at that point. But to get us in the ballpark, I'm just cutting on the weld seam and hoping back in 40 that they got them correct. It's possible that they're not. So we just take the grinder and just the cutoff wheel and zip that off of there. Don't know if this is the correct way to do it. It's just the way I'm doing it. It's just the way I've done it in the past one other time. That's what we're doing. That's how we're doing it. And that's why we're doing it. No, that's not why we're doing it. Why we're doing it is because, well, I'm not going to run this kind of setup. And I can't do any of my mock-up with the motor in here because this really kind of gets in the way. Well, the motor gets in the way of letting this slide back into position where I want it. So I don't need it. Let's get rid of it. We'll just take this step from step 30 down the line and we'll move it up to step 2 in the line and we'll deal with it later as well. I do have a spare if I screw this up. It's not the end of the world. So enough talking, enough avoiding, time to start working. I lost my gloves. There they are. And of course I didn't get this cut very straight, so that's probably good for the future. That spooked me. So it looks like it is sleeved a little bit. We'll go over that when we get to it. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. This stuff's been together for like 80 some years, and here comes Simon with his grinder to take it all apart. Oh my God, those are tight. Those need to expand. Damn it, that should have happened. Nope, that's definitely not moving. These have not moved in a long time, I'm guessing. I'm guessing that's what's going on there. Like I said, if we screw it up, I got another one. We'll be fine. Okie dokie then. This was not on the plan for today. Now what, Simon? All right, we got that all moving now. Had to heat them nuts up real warm to get them to break free. And you know what they say, if it can't be stuck if it's liquid. Well, they were pert near liquid, but I stopped a little short and they just spun right off like they were brand new. Even basically cut new threads into those deals. There's probably a correct term for the wishbone attachment bolt, but I don't know what it is. It doesn't really matter. They're not where they need to be, but they're able to fit beside the motor, and that's what we're after. Because remember, folks, this is just purely a planning part. We're not setting anything in stone here. We're just planning what we need and what we want to accomplish. But now this fits in here. Gives me an idea where the split wishbones are going to land for length. I can get my axle position sorted out where I want that. We'll get it at height because we need to know what the height is going to be. Just, golly, we're going to answer so many questions. 17 inches height. We need 17 inches. Those 35-inch tires measure about 34 inches. They're probably a little worn down. It'll get us in the ballpark. It'll be fine. La-di-dee, la-di-da. Where do we put this? All right. I'm not even going to worry about squaring it up left to right at this point. We just need to get lengths figured out. Lengths figured out. That's all I'm after. Oh, that's still a little warm. Still a little warm, I tell ya. Is that high enough? What did I say we need? 17 inches? 17? 17 inches. 17, lucky 17. I don't get that lucky that often, but that is almost perfect. I mean, it's probably perfect enough for me. Look at this. There is no pre-planning here. This ain't a TV show where I got a crew that does all the work for me and then I just come in and be the star, because we know that ain't the case. Look at this. Look at this. I said I needed 17 inches. We are at, I mean, the center's probably at 16 and 7/8, maybe 16 and 15/16. It's freaking close enough. Awesome. All right. Now what? I got this. Am I going to use a Model A grill for this project? I don't know, people. I just have one, a grill shroud right here for the purposes of visualization, because I need to see what I'm building. Oh yeah, can you start to see the vision? Is the vision coming through? This is obviously a little lower than it should be. It'll probably be up here somewhere. Yes. Is that far enough? Do we have enough space for everything? Is that the look I want? Or do I want her a little more scrunched up? Kind of feel like I want to just pinch it together a little more. Just a little bit, but I got to make sure I leave room for stuff in front of the motor. I could bring the motor forward a little bit. I definitely think that axle and wheel need to come back. I don't like how far out in front it is. I like it tight. I bet this would be a lot easier if a guy had a jig table or a frame table or something. Oh, I think I like that. Nice and tight. Nice and tight. How does this look now? Obviously, it's way too far out because I don't have a spindle or a hub on there to actually bolt this onto. I have to order some parts. Looks pert near center-ish. All right, I think I like that better. We got that front axle kind of loosely put where we want to put it. Let's get the rear axle out here and make sure we get that set where we roughly kind of think we may want to put it in eventually. I'd really like to just start building the chassis. I still don't have the steel because I'm not that prepared and I haven't got it ordered yet. I did put a message out there today, but so we're in the works. It just hasn't happened yet. But this needs to happen too, so it's not like we ain't got nothing to do. We got to get all this extra garbage off of this damn thing that we don't need. Look at how it's going to clean so much room up over here once I get this put into the thing. That is a wide unit. Holy cow. That is one wide unit. I think it's 69 inches from mounting surface to mounting surface. Yeah. She's gonna be a big one. We gotta start getting her torn down. The biggest problem I'm facing right now with this thing is it does not rotate. You turn the little doohickey there, the little whatchamacallits out here don't do anything. I think that's because the brake calipers are seized to the brake pads, which are seized to the brake rotors. Binding everything up really bad, I assume. Don't know for sure. I'm hopeful that's what's wrong, because I remember when I took this off the trailer when it was on the excursion that it semi-rolled, but maybe it didn't. I don't remember. We also need to get all the extra garbage off of here. Like, we don't need these spring perchers or whatever the hell those things are for. All the brake lines miles ago because, well, they rusted and broke. I'm gonna need new ones, so we'll just put new ones on here. I get a budget in this build off for safety items and brakes and tires and seat belts and stuff, so that helps offset the actual build cost a little bit. I'm still gonna try and do it as affordably and cheap as I possibly can, because that's just the way I like to build. I ain't got stacks of cash to just throw at everything, so we gotta do it as we can do it in a way we can do it. So yeah, I think we're just gonna get after her, get her stripped down, and then kind of see where she's gonna fit. Maybe put some wheels on her and see how things are starting to come together. We're gonna have to get the wheel wells cut out of here because they're useless now. We don't need them in there. I'm just gonna start doing things, and by things I mean we're gonna start teardown. Teardown, that's where we're gonna start. Well, we got all the brakes stripped down on it. For those of you who are not familiar with how rusty things can get up here in the Midwest, you know, the flyover country, the upper Midwest, the Rust Belt, if you're not really understanding how bad it can get, these dust shields are completely rotted through and garbage, so they'll probably come off. Everything was seized up. Brake pads aren't even immune to it. I mean, look at this. They rusted so bad that the actual liners came off the brake pads. There's the steel. There's the brake pad material. So yeah, it gets pretty awesome and fun to deal with sometimes. Yeah, that one's like literally separating. You can see it. So the rivets, I suppose, give out and it just lets loose. Even these rotors, there's like a lot of meat left on these rotors, and the guy could probably get them turned down and save some money there and reuse them. The problem is, look at all the fins. Is that showing up on camera? I don't know if that's showing up on camera. The fins are so swelled with rust that there's probably not much life left in them. Maybe there is, but I don't know. We'll at least price out some new rotors because they're both just as bad. I mean, look at, that's all rust. That's not mud, people. That is all rust in there that's falling off the fins. And well, that's mud. There's just some things a guy doesn't want to cut a corner on, and brakes is kind of one of them things. The calipers, I thought maybe I could save on those and they're probably okay. Just got to get some fluid moving through them, but I pulled this one out and, well, she's busted. I don't know how that happened. I didn't do it, I don't think. All I did was pry it off the bracket, so that was doomed from the word go, whatever's going on there. So if I'm going to replace one, we might as well replace both, because the chances are if they're not seized up, they will lock up on me at some point. And I don't want to deal with it. We're going to start digging into that budget. We ain't dug into it very much yet, so some of the stuff is just unavoidable. You're going to have to buy some things. Good thing is, everything spins and turns like it's supposed to. No gnarly sounds, no clunking. I'm pretty optimistic the rear end's still good. I haven't opened up the back to see if there's any gear lube in it yet. And I probably will before I start welding crap to it, but you know, one step at a time. It even has the old tag on it still, so I can figure out what it is, and it's a 373 gear set with a limited slip. So yeah, now where do we go? We're gonna take off these guys. These are your spring perches. The spring would sit on top of here, axle underneath, spring on top, then the frame and everything else for your truck. And then we'll be ready to maybe slide. Nope, we got to cut wheel wells out of there yet before we can slide this under the car. I wonder if my adapters are here. I ordered adapters. I did order adapters, $100 for the two of them. Because this is, well, long story. Long story. It doesn't really matter. It does matter. You need to know. This axle bolt pattern is 8 by 170. My wheels are 8 by 6.5. Now I know that's different, and I know they sell wheels by 8 by 170. The problem I was having, anything that looks similar to that or appealed to my eye was ridiculous. We're looking at $1,200 to $1,500. Not like that's a lot of, well, that is a lot of money. Not that that's an absurd amount of money for wheels. I'm just trying to conserve my budget as much as I possibly can. I paid $500 for those wheels. They'll work on the Bel Air, which is parked outside. If I didn't like them, I could always switch them out for that. And they make adapters. The reason I went with the adapter, still need a wheel spacer to get my wheels out far enough to at least not have to modify the body so much that the wheels are damn near touching the window. I just bit the bullet, spent the $100 on the spacers, or not spacers, sorry, on the adapters, and that's what we're gonna do. This is all useless information because the spacers aren't here yet, the axle's not in, the wheels aren't getting bolted on right now, but they might, maybe tomorrow. They're supposed to be here tomorrow, so fingers crossed. I'm gonna stop rambling and start grinding. That's what we should do. Focus, focus. Wheel spacers, wheel thingamabobbers aren't the focus, Simon. Simon, the focus is getting those damn spring brackets off. Maybe I'm just delaying. Maybe I'm delaying doing it. That's a distinct possibility. I don't like grinding a lot, but I do it a lot. That's because I'm a bad welder. Here we go again, off topic. Get these ground off, Simon. Okay, I'll get them done. I'll get them done. All right, kapow, 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 kapow. Bingo, bango, she's off. Grinding them off. It probably took me 25 minutes to do both of them, so I didn't think that was that bad. Am I gonna throw these in the scrap pile like I should? No, absolutely not. We're gonna save these. I feel like maybe one day I might need them for another axle tube that I might do a leaf spring setup on, and now I've got axle perches. Maybe, maybe not, but maybe. So I'll hold on to them for about 5 to 10 years, realize I'm never gonna use them, then we'll scrap them out. And then I'll need them a year later. So it's just what we do. We have to address a problem though. The elephant in the room, the monkey in the closet. Is that a thing? No, that's a chicken. I don't know. Future Simon's gonna have to do some work here because I'm not gonna do it. And that guy complains about me all the time anyway, so screw that guy. Future Simon himself will have to deal with this. Grinding those out of there, we got a little deep here on the axle tube. This one isn't as bad. Little weld, little grind, it'll be fine. This side, I damn near went through the tube, if not right to the edge of it. It's frickin' deep, so I don't know why I got so aggressive over there or didn't pay attention to how deep I was going. That was the first one I did, so obviously I learned on that side and figured out on this side I didn't need to go as deep. And now we have that mess to clean up. They're deep, they're deep. A little weld buzz in there and bead and fill it up. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. We just wanna make sure she's thick enough that she's not gonna, have a hole there. We don't want a hole there. Plus, we gotta mount new brackets on here somewhere, so we gotta make sure we got somewhere smooth to put them, smoothish to put them. Future Simon, that's all you, buddy. That's all you. As we start to get some of this piece together, I gotta get other stuff figured out to move forward. For my brain to work, I need to know answers for not just problem A, but problem C, problem Z, problem F, problem Q. I need to know all the answers for my brain to be able to process and move forward. That may not be the way everybody works, but it's the way I work. I mean, I'm all for winging it, and I tend to do a lot of it, but I like to have a direction that I'm winging for. We're gonna cut our cross brace out in here because we need to know seating arrangements to a point. Because believe it or not, on this build, that is gonna be affected by the frame. And it probably isn't gonna make a whole lot of sense right now, but it will in the future. So just trust me on this. We gotta figure it out. I'm hoping I can cut this cross brace out of here now without any consequences. I am gonna take a pre-measurement between my steel in here, between the B-pillars in here, to confirm nothing moves. It shouldn't, but just in case. Remember 56 3/4. Because I won't. All right, it's officially disconnected from one side. Let's see how bad we screwed this up. We're right on the money. Right on the money. She didn't move. Perfect. Let's cut this bitch out of here. So what we're doing is setting more blocks in here. I think I did this once already, maybe even in this video, but we're trying to solve problems. So it's gonna take steps. No matter what I do, I'm gonna need one of them prisms that let you see up to like stoplights and stuff. I really need one of those in my shoebox already, so I'm used to that. Whoa. I feel like I'm a mile away from the dash. There's no dash, but where the dash would be. This has really long doors. Honestly, I don't think this is that bad. I might be overthinking this. We got to get sorted out back here. Let me move my wheel. I kind of marked roughly where I had the center of the wheel sitting, so roughly where I want the axle. That may shift a little bit. We'll have to just get to that when we get to it. We got to get these wheel wells cut out of here though, because, well, they're kind of useless. I just don't know that we need them. If they were in great condition, maybe I'd reconsider removing them, but honestly, if you can even see in here, they're garbage. Like, I can stick my fingers through the holes. You see my fingers? Hello, that's me. Hello, hello. Mr. Finger Pants. That didn't sound appropriate. Either way, they're all pretty well garbage and rotted off and falling off anyways, so we should just remove them from the equation. We don't actually need them. The wheels are gonna be out here, and then we'll figure out how we finish this off after the fact. We can do all kinds of different things, but I think I might also, not sure if I said this or not already, but I might have. It's very possible. I repeat myself a lot, like a lot. When we get these wheels bolted to that axle, we'll get a true measurement of width between the wheels. I think this body's gonna be a smidge too wide for them just to perfectly roll between the fenders, or the rockers, or the body, whatever you want to call it. So we may have to make some adjustments somewhere on the body. Somewhere. Maybe here-ish, there-ish. I don't know. We'll make it all work out as best we can. I don't think back here is going to be a problem. It's going to be here where it's wide before it starts narrowing back. I could probably mount the wheel back here and not have any body issues with the wheel fitment. I don't want to do that though. I don't want the wheel way to the back. To me, it's not what I want. So we're waiting on the adapters to bolt the wheels to the axle, so we might as well work on the car where we can. And yeah, you can tell I had no intentions of cutting these wheel wells out originally. Like, I was gonna fix them because they were bad, and I was trying to come up with a plan in my head. Hey, Simon, how are you gonna fix these? I even went and plated these off the end of my the curve at the bottom of the body here. I went and plated that off because I figured it needed to be plated off for the wheel well. It does not. It in fact, it's pointless. But we're gonna leave it because it's done now. Anyways, I'm getting off on a tangent, not really making any sense. What we're focused on is this. This is what we need to focus on. That's future Simon problems. Oh, I'm still not sure why I did this to myself. Like, the stroke box wasn't short enough and low enough and very uncomfortable to get into work on. So I went and made the next car shorter and lower. Idiot. As you can see, could damn near crawl through that one. So there's not much left to cut there. And well, this side ain't much better either. So here we are. Let's just cut them out. Is that enough light? Probably not. We're gonna go with it. What am I dealing with, you might ask? Well, let me show you. Here, let's pull this wheel away because that's not necessary at this point. But there's my axle. It's in there. It's up at 13 inches. It needs to come up to 17 inches to even get close to going into the center of the wheel because, well, you know, they're 35s. You can see it in there. Definitely not high enough. Or if we were to bolt it in this situation, well, then the bottom of the car, when it was all aired out, would be off the ground that same amount. Not gonna happen. Just not gonna happen. Simple solution for this problem, change our wheels. Get ourselves some smaller wheels, some littler diameter wheels that'll bolt on there at that height. Hey, come here. Also not gonna happen. So, I think, boy, I don't know. Do I figure this problem out first before we do the chassis stuff, or do we do the chassis and then adapt this to fit? I don't know the correct answer to that. Yeah, I don't know the correct answer. Right now, all my chassis measurements that I've done to gather the amount of steel I was gonna need, thought I needed, has all been based off of just measuring things individually and separately and piecing it together on paper and hoping it's right. Fingers crossed. Yeah, because I didn't set anything up and go, oh, this is exactly what we need. I guessed. Damn, yeah. So where does that leave us? I don't know. I don't know where that leaves us. My frickin' adapters to bolt these to the wheels, to bolt this axle to these wheels is supposed to be here tomorrow. If that shows up on time, we can bolt the wheels on and get true to life measurements, not guesstimates. Because this is all I'm doing is guessing. It should be about there. It doesn't always work. It's not always accurate. This one's difficult. I thought that rear window deal was difficult. This one's gonna really screw with my head, isn't it? Let's be realistic. They all screw with my head. This is just how I process it. Yep, this is life. This is the life of Simon. It's exciting. Woohoo! Bolting the wheel on is only half the problem. The other half of the problem is getting this axle high enough because it is too low. I mean, we want the whole car low. We want the axle high so the car can be low, and the axle needs to be high so the car can be low. It's a lot of reverse psychology is what I would say. We are at 12.5 to the center, roughly. We need 17. Ofta, that's a problem. So we're gonna have to remove stuff just to get the axle to fit. Not including getting the wheel to fit. Darn. I'm gonna have to wait. I need those adapters. Let's pray that they show up tomorrow. We need answers before we can move forward. That's all there is to it. I don't want to just go and hack it out for this to fit, knowing all too well I'm going to have to hack it out for the wheel to fit. You definitely like to make things difficult for yourself, Simon. Heaven forbid I just put a normal axle in here and just tuck the wheels back under the fenders and do that whole thing. No. That'd be too simple. Why would I do that? I really thought this next video was going to be a chassis build. It's not. It's most likely not. Yeah, that's a real bummer there. I wonder if they showed up today. No, they definitely didn't show up today. I already checked the mail. I don't know why I said that. I'll be back tomorrow. Lame.
The next day.
All right, first things first. Yes, I have glasses on my face. No, they are not safety glasses. These are actual, you need these to see glasses. My vision's not terrible, but my nearsightedness and my farsightedness, they're getting a little, I'm getting old man eyes, let's just put it that way. So now I'm wearing these to try and adjust a little bit. It's only been a couple days, I'm still figuring it all out. Feel a little suave, a little smarter. Not any better at anything I'm doing, but I'm wearing them. It's all there is to it. Now I can see my flaws even better. So we got that going for her. Now you know why I'm wearing glasses for the first time ever on camera. Anyways, you probably didn't care, but I just thought I'd put it out there before I get all the questions about, hey, when did you start wearing glasses? Now you know. There they are. They make me more demure? A little too bougie? Do I look smarter? Probably none of the above. What we're doing is getting ready to cut some things. I got all kinds of squiggly and scraggly lines all drawn all over this thing. USPS lies to me constantly. I don't even know why they send a tracking number because it never shows up on the day they say it's gonna show up. It's freaking terrible. So yeah, needless to say, my spacers / adapters are not here yet. They won't be here for another 3 days. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I don't know why 3 more days. I've got to keep moving forward though. We have a deadline. I got a lot of work ahead of me and I don't want to get delayed by stuff like that. To make it fit at 17 inches off the ground in the center with a brake rotor on here, we need to have at least this much clearance up to here. But now I'm looking at this thinking, do I actually need it there? Is it actually going to be that far? Oh, damn it, Simon. Why do you do this to yourself? I think we need to build a frame first. Maybe we don't. I don't freaking know. I thought I had this all figured out in the plan. Well, no, definitely not all figured out. I'm trying to make this tire. I got freaking drawings and notes, and I've been busy, people. We've been doing things. Trying to make this tire suck in. We need about 59 inches between the wheels, and we are at about, what are we at right now? 64 and a half to right here. The deal is it's further wider here than it is here. So I need more room cut out here than I do here. So it's weird. So essentially I'm trying to do something like that, but I want to be able to like have people like look back here and not just see a flat straight line. I want to keep some contours of the body in there somehow. So when you look at it from the rear or whatever, it looks like the wheels just sucked right into the body or whatever, however I think it looks in my head. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish. That's why we're not cutting very far here and we're cutting way to the window here. I'm not even sure this is far enough yet. That's how close it's gonna get. But then we can suck that wheel into where it needs to be and get that axle set up in there where it needs to be. Yeah, good times, good times, guys. Good freaking times. I don't know what you're supposed to do first. It's the chicken and the egg scenario. Do you get the egg first or the chicken first? Do you build the chassis first and then fit the body to the chassis? I don't know. That's it. I'm calling it. I'm pulling the plug on this video. We're not getting anywhere. We're waiting on metal. We're waiting on parts. I still need a 4-link setup. So that's it. We're just going to stop this video now. I don't even know how long this video is going to be at this point. And we really didn't get nothing accomplished other than creating more questions and not so many problems solved. So we're gonna build the chassis here, then we'll set the body on it. We can get all the measurements we need from the body. Then when we get the body on the chassis, we'll be able to cut exactly where we need for those wheels. It won't be a guessing job, which is what I was about ready to do, is just start guessing and hoping and slicing and dicing just to make a video. And I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it. So we're gonna hold off. And then next week, when everything shows up, we can hit the ground running. Probably not running. We'll probably be at a slow crawl because I'm just that way. But we'll be making progress on the chassis. I'd like to see on the next video, but I might do something in the interim. You know, I might like, I can't wait for nothing. Let's do something kind of video. So fingers crossed on the next video. Just bear with me. We're getting there. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. That being said, be sure to leave a comment. Don't forget to hit that like button. As always, please subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next time.